Hi angels, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, hi. Over on this side of YouTube we do all things Christian things, mummy chats, vlogs, girl talks, everywhere. Just think this is your safe space on the internet. And if you're not new here, hey babies, happy new year again and welcome back. So I just thought to myself, so much has happened, so much has gone on, so let's do a little Q&A. If you're not following me on Instagram and TikTok, go over and do that so we can connect and we can chop it up. Hello. Well, I asked you guys over on Instagram to ask me some questions, and I also asked ChatGPT to ask me some questions as well. So let's get into those. I'll go into my Instagram questions first, and then we will go into ChatGPT's questions. Yeah, is that okay? Is that okay? First question is, are you excited to go back to work? No. No, I actually am not. Like, I miss like being in the workplace and actually like having conversations and like just chopping it up with like adults, because I feel like I'm just like, my day to day I'm just with Ayla. Do you know what I mean? Not even with Z, like I'm just with Ayla because Z's at school. And as I said, like Ayla's napping now, so it's like, you know, so I miss like that adult interaction and whatnot. But I want to work for myself. I want to work for myself. Like, I do want to work for myself. Like, don't get me wrong, like I love my job and I've been offered like a better position and stuff, but I do want to work for myself. So no, I don't. I'm not looking forward to going back to going to work. Is motherhood easier the second time around? I wouldn't say it is easier, but it's because I already know. It's like when I had Isabel, it was a shift from just being like on my own, young, lit and single, to now having a child to take care of. But obviously I'd been taking care of Isabel for 5.5 years till when Ayla was born. So it was just like Ayla just slid in. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't really a transition. And I feel like because another question I got was the transition hard from 1 to 2? But I feel like because it's such a big age gap, like Isabel's 6 and Ayla's 6 months. Do you know what I mean? Because it's such a big age gap, and Isabel genuinely is such a well-behaved child, I don't think it was hard at all. It was fine. And then obviously I've got the support of, I've got like a very strong support system, so I don't think it was hard at all. Can we have a makeup routine, please? Probably not. Not gonna lie. I don't feel like beauty is my niche, and if it is, it's more so skincare than makeup. Like, I literally wear makeup. I don't know, like obviously I know how to do my makeup, but do I want to sit here and dedicate a whole video to makeup? Maybe we can do like a chit chat, get ready, updated kind of vibe. But a makeup routine, probably not. How is it with one child at school and one at home? It's really nice and it balances it out. Like, as I say, like we done the school run today, and then I'm just home with Ayla. She's having a little nap at the moment, and it's nice. Later on we'll go get Z from school. She'll come home, she plays with Ayla. Like, Z literally occupies Ayla. Like, you see, if I need a minute to myself or want to watch Grey's Anatomy, like they'll be in here, but they'll be just playing in the ball pit or just playing amongst themselves, which is so much fun. How's 75 hard going? So I'm actually doing 75 medium, and it's going really good. Like, I'm sleeping so much better. I feel so much better, like mentally, physically. It's nice to like just get like productive and stuff. I'm really enjoying it so far. We're on day 4. I haven't took no vitamins, I haven't drank no water or anything today, but I've got my watch on, tracking my steps, and it's really good. It's motivating as well when I see that other girl is ahead of me in my steps. Oh, I gotta get some more walking. Do you know what I mean? How did becoming a mother challenge you? I don't think it challenged me, but it's just like when you're a mother, it's like, it's just you and these babies. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, you can't like, okay, for instance, say if I had a down day, if I was having a down day and I'm feeling depressed and I just want a bedrock day, my kids still need feeding and bathing and they deserve to live in a clean environment. So it's like, I can't. Do you know what I mean? So I think becoming a mother has made me a lot more resilient to like life, and has made me a lot more like aware of like life, and just, you know, do you know what I mean? If that makes sense. What motivated you to get back into YouTube? I just think like for so long I was so worried about, and it's so crazy because it was subconscious. It's like I was worried about what other people were saying, but it was I wasn't aware that I was worried about what other people were saying. Do you know what I mean? Like I would hang around, I would be around people that would be like, oh my god, have you saw what's trying to do a business, like he's trying and it's just not gonna work. So I'm thinking, did I think that about my YouTube? Did I think that about my YouTube? So it would be like discouraging. And as soon as I like cut off like any dead weight, and I actually like looked into myself and looked into, okay, so why did you start YouTube in the beginning? And I've said this about a million times, that I started YouTube because I genuinely love to create. Do you know what I mean? Both my degrees are creative degrees. Do you know what I mean? Like I genuinely love it. Like even if I was to create this content and it wouldn't go anywhere, I would still have fun with it. Do you know what I mean? Like if I was to create this content and it weren't paying me and it weren't going anywhere, I would still have fun with it. Do you know what I mean? Like YouTube has paid me. I've had a few sponsorships, a few gifting collabs. Do you know what I mean? But it hasn't paid me like enough to quit my job yet. Do you know what I mean? It has, but I still continue going. Like I've had this channel for 7 years. I've just never been consistent because I always was in my own head. But it's just like, I feel like my frontal lobe developed last year, not gonna lie. And it's just like, I don't care. I literally don't care. Like if you're taking time out to sit and watch my videos and critique my videos, I've already won. Because I genuinely cannot tell you what anybody is doing that I don't love or that I don't want. Like, do you know what I mean? I can't tell you what the other side are doing. I don't care. Do you know what I mean? So it's like I just had to like pour into me and not let silliness hold me back. How are you finding motherhood with two? Is it harder to juggle the different routines? No, so I've kind of got both the girls into one routine at the moment. So obviously we've got a morning routine, we've got an evening routine, and now that Ayla can sit up, life hack, her and Z have a bath together. They're both asleep by 8:30. It's all about routines and making them be on the same time. Do you know what I mean? What have you learned about yourself since finding Christ? Oh, I have learned that I am not perfect and I'm not a victim, and I'm not, and I'm gonna get it wrong sometimes. Do you know what I mean? I've learned that obviously they're like pretty obvious things, but like with things that happened in the past, I would always look at like what the other person done or how this affected me and this, that. But I feel like being in Christ, like I'm able to see, okay, well, my action must have provoked that, or did I do something? I'm able to take accountability, and the beauty with it is, I feel like, because I know that Jesus, as long as I repent and stuff, he still loves me. He's still gonna show me the way. It's fine. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think I've learned to be a lot more humble as well since coming to Christ. Like, I understand like life's tough. Like, we're literally in a spiritual battle. So just chill out when it comes to people. How's the transition from 1 to 2? I just answered that. Has motherhood ever tested your faith, and why? Do you know what? Not gonna lie, motherhood has showed me, motherhood has strengthened my faith. Motherhood has shown me just how real God is. Like, obviously I'm gonna get to a labor and delivery story time when I've processed my labor and delivery, but there was a point in my labor and delivery and I was in the pool and I was in the most excruciating pain. And I just thought to myself, like, Lord, help me. Like, I was having my contractions, and instead of screaming, I was speaking in tongues. And I could feel the Lord like with me. And it was like, just calm down. And I was like, I physically cannot, like, calm me down. Like, you need to calm me down because I cannot. Do you know what I mean? And you know, the labor, it was intense. It was so intense. I just saw my labor comb, and I need to put it somewhere else, because every time I see that comb that I was using in labor, my body shivers. Like, oh, I will do a labor and delivery story time eventually, but for the question, I feel like my faith, I feel like having kids has actually shown me how real God is. Like, when I see how my kids just look at me and just love me down, and when I feel like the overwhelming love I feel for my kids, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is how God feels about me, but more. Sorry. Like, it's crazy. Do you find it challenging with 2 kids now? How have you adapted to the new addition? No, not at all. No, I wouldn't say it's challenging at all. I think, obviously, it's a change, and especially because Isabel is at an age where she was very independent. She's got her own little social life. Like, she'll go stay at my mum's, she'll go stay at, so I had a lot of free time before I had Ayla. However, it's like, I do still have like a really strong support system with Ayla. She's such a good baby, and I love her down. Like, she's mine. Like, she's mine, you know. I love her down. And the last one on Instagram was, how has life been adjusting to motherhood as 2? And as I said, it's been amazing. I think the key when you've got multiple kids is routine. That's the key. Just having structure, having routine. And the girls are so, like, from like 7:30, Ayla will be like moany, a bit fussy, because she just wants a bath, she just wants to go to bed. Do you know what I mean? She just wants to go to bed. And the same with, well, Z's just proper chill, proper laid back. Love Z down. Anyway, let's go on to ChatGPT. So for ChatGPT, I asked him to ask, I love GBT, can't even say his name, but I love him down. I asked ChatGPT to ask me questions about motherhood and about my faith. So I'll just do one motherhood, one faith, one motherhood, one faith, and so forth. So, how has becoming a mom changed your perspective on life? Becoming a mom has changed my perspective on life, because it's just like, I just see how beautiful life is. Do you know what I mean? And I think for me, because my parents have always like made sure I'm good, made sure, like, my parents have just always like, I'm a silver, my parents have always been my parents, so I've never had to struggle, and I've never had to, do you know what I mean? Because if I need something, my parents would get it. Do you know what I mean? And I know that they're like, even though there was a bit emotionally unavailable, hello, they've always had me. So I feel like becoming a mother has taught me, like, you know, no one ain't coming to save you, because I genuinely thought my parents are saving me. Do you know what I mean? But when I'm in the depths of motherhood, and like my kids are ill, or I've just got to crack on with it. I've just got to trust in God and like carry on, like carry forward. Do you know what I mean? How has your faith grown or changed? Oh, I feel like I've answered that. What's a Bible verse or a story that has encouraged you during difficult seasons? Okay. I would say a Bible verse that always encourages me is Proverbs 3:5, and it's such a famous verse, but when I got baptized, the minister was like, this is your verse, and it has really like showed out in my life. And it is, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. And then the next verse is, in all your ways acknowledge him and he'll make your path straight. But for me, that trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding is tea, because it's like, when I don't know what's going on and things are crazy, I just need to trust in God and don't lean on my understanding, because I can only see this far when God can see the whole thing. Do you know what I mean? So that's like a very comforting Bible verse to me. Okay, how do you balance pursuing your personal goals while being a mom? Routine, genuinely routine, but sometimes it's just a matter of giving yourself grace. Like, for instance, yesterday I because obviously I'm doing the 75 medium challenge, I needed to film, but I just was so tired because Ayla's teething. So I put her to bed at 8:30. She fell asleep, and then at 1 o'clock she woke up because her teeth were hurting, and it took me a minute to kind of figure out it was her teeth. So I give her a bottle, changed her, she's still fussing, and I was like, oh, it's her teeth. So I put some Bonjela on her gums, and then she was just happy, she wanted to chat, and I'm like, no babe, we need to sleep, I've got to be up at 5 to pray. sleep. Do you know what I mean? So when I woke up at 5 then, I was like really tired, really groggy. Then it's freezing cold outside. Z was, she didn't want to go to school. No, did she want to go to school? No, it's not that she didn't want to go to school, but we was a bit late. So I woke up at 5, went back to sleep, and I kept waking up and going back to sleep. And then I woke up at 8 o'clock, and I've got to leave for the school run at 8:20. So it was just like a bit of a mad one. Then I got back, it's freezing cold, we just about made Z's school on time, and then I just wanted to lay in the bed and watch Grey's Anatomy, but then I was like, but I want to film as well. But I just had to give myself grace, because it's just like, hello, giving yourself grace. How do you make time for prayer and devotion amidst a busy schedule? You don't schedule your life. You don't schedule your life and then prayer. You schedule prayer and then your life. Do you know what I mean? So with me, it's easiest to just wake up and spend time with God when the kids are asleep and before I get started my day, or just before I go to bed. But I have to make that time. Do you know what I mean? It's about being intentional, because in the secret place is where everything happens, is where everything goes down. How do you approach teaching your children about faith and values? Obviously, Z's grew up in the church. Apart from like the time where I was like in the wilderness a bit and we didn't have a church home, Z's grew up in the church from 5 months old. Every single night of Isabel's life, we pray together. She reads her Bible. She sees me reading my Bible. So for Z, it's like secondhand nature. Ayla, on the other hand, her dad is a Muslim, and we had this conversation when I was pregnant, and we was both basically, because he was like, obviously in Islam, the child follows the dad's religion, and I said, so that's cute, but no, unfortunately not. I was trying to be open-minded, and this is like my own fault, because in my wilderness season, when I was being lukewarm, I decided to lay down with Muslims. Hello. So now these are like prayer points that I'm dealing with. However, Ayla comes to church with me every Sunday. Ayla is going to have a christening. Hello. And yeah, like I just said, obviously I'll be open-minded. The Bible says teach them and they'll be raised up, but all I can do is pray that the Holy Spirit, just how he revealed himself to me, himself to every Christian in this world, that he'll reveal himself to Ayla, and she will make the choice to follow the Lord. But in the meantime, I will be reading the Bible to her. She has got her own Bible. She comes to church with me. I pray over every night, because my God is an awesome God. He reigns on heaven, on earth. He reigns, period. What role does faith play in healing from past hurts? Just knowing that God sees everything. And to be fair, if you look at all the greats in the Bible, let's look at Joseph, for instance. Joseph, imagine you're a king's son, you get sold into slavery by your brothers who you love down. Like, his brothers didn't love him, but he actually loved his brothers. Do you know what I mean? You get sold into slavery, right? And when I was doing like a study on this, at that time, it would have been better for them to kill him than to sell him into slavery, coming from being a king. Do you know what I mean? You get sold into slavery, and then when you're a slave, there's favor on your life, and you ended up in the king's house. His wife is trying to touch you up. You do a runner because you don't want to fornicate with the wife. She feels shame and then lies. You get put in jail. Literal dungeon jail, not even a window. It stinks. You're not getting fed. You get put in jail. You're still having a clean heart. Eventually you come out of jail and you get rain. Like, God's favor is upon you. Imagine if Joseph was like in jail being bitter. Like, if them brothers didn't help, if them brothers didn't sell me, I wouldn't be here. He wouldn't have ever came out of jail. He would have died in jail, because God wouldn't be able to use him, because his heart was in the wrong place. Do you know what I mean? So it's just knowing that everything is going to work out for my good. It says it in the Bible. Literally all the gems you need are in the Bible. Like, everything, the good, the bad and ugly, God will make it work out for our good. So we don't need to really worry. Do you know what I mean? We don't really need to worry. And surrendering, like, when you surrender a hurt to God, what I used to do is I would surrender it to God and then pick it back up, like, Lord, but I don't know why they would do that. Hello, why would they do that? But then when I actually like could continue to surrender, one day it just stopped hurting and I stopped thinking about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, the Lord cares about the little things. Like, you're his literal child. What are your favourite activities to do with your kids? Obviously, with Ayla, she's 6 months, so we just play. I mean, you know, we play. She's such a giggler, Ayla. And with Isabel, I think my favourite activities is like would be arts and crafts with Isabel. Like, me and Isabel can sit down and we can make something out of nothing. Like, we can sit down and really like get creative. I love how she's really took my creative spike. She loves to write. She writes stories. She writes letters to her little friends. Sometimes like, I'll draw and she'll write, and like we illustrate a book together. Like, me and Isabel are creatives through and through. So I would say that's my favorite. And I love traveling with my daughter. Like, I love traveling with Isabel because she'll be like, Mum, I need a holiday. I'm like, Izzy, you're literally 6. But she was like, Mum, there's a literally yesterday she was like to me, Mum, there's a holiday in February, can we go on holiday? I says I'll think about it, but I ain't got Ayla's passport, so I need to sort that out ASAP. What does self-care look like for you as a mum? Self-care for me as a mum literally just looks like just having some me time. Like, whether it's going to the gym, going on or just being on my own, being able to like listen to my podcast or read my book. Just being able to I just want to be me. Just being able to just clock out of mum mode a little bit. Do you know what I mean? And have some time to myself. Are there any faith-based resources, books, podcasts, etc. that have inspired you? So I'm reading a book at the moment called The Bait of Satan. Genuinely, John, the author's called John. I can't remember his last name, but I know the first name is John. John, hands down, amazing book. Like, it gives you such a different perspective on like offense and holding offense. And a podcast that's inspired me is Girls Gone Bible, love them. In Totality with Megan Ashley, love her. The Delphi, I was actually listening to this podcast yesterday and today. Let me go, but I don't know how to pronounce it. It's this Delphi podcast. It's like this testimony podcast, and people come, and I'll put a picture, people come and tell their testimonies. It's such a good podcast. Let me look what else is on my Rick Warren's podcast is T. Love me some Rick Warren. And Rick Warren is like one of the first preachers I ever came across. Yeah, for Christian podcasts, I just juggle between them really. But then I watch a lot of Christian YouTubers, and just because it's just like nice to see all the girls are coming to Christ. Do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna ask one more question and then we can be done. So oh my gosh, how do you handle mum guilt, especially when you're focusing on your own dreams? Girl, you see, for so long, I think because of the whole situation with Isabel and how that occurred, like, I had a lot of guilt because I felt like I'm her only parent. I literally have to show up. So I really like, Isabel was five when I went on my first girls trip. And what made me go is I paid for my mum and Isabel to go to Kenya, so she was on holiday too. It weren't like I'm going on holiday and leaving her. Do you know what I mean? Like, I had severe mum guilt. Even when I fell pregnant with Ayla, I was like, oh my god, like, how is Isabel gonna take this? I knew she'll take it well because she has been asking for a sister since she was like 3 years old. So I knew she'll take it well. But then it was like, oh gosh, like, how I'm gonna love both of them. Like, it was tough. But now how I deal with that, to answer the question, is I just trust in God. Like, I really don't do anything without my kids. Like, I hang out with them and like, no. But like, if I have a break, it's just because I genuinely need a break. And Isabel has an iPad. I will be texting her throughout. We'll be chopping it up throughout. It's just like healthy balance. Do you know what I mean? And understand, like, before I had my babies, I was Aaliyah. Do you know what I mean? And I need time to myself. I need to do things. I'm not doing anything to put the babies in harm's way. I'm not doing anything to hurt the babies. It's just, I'm just prioritizing myself at the moment, which is okay. But yeah, guys, that is that. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Girlies and guys, heavy on the comment, because I need to know you're there. I can't be here talking to myself, can I? Thank you so much for commenting. What I'm gonna, should I start doing comment of the day to encourage you to comment? Let's do comment of the day. So I'm gonna go back on my last video. Give me a second. Comments, there we go. So we got Yvonne. Happy New Year, Aaliyah. Going into 2025, my prayer is to be disciplined enough to pursue my goals. Yvonne, you've literally got this. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. We're all rooting for you. And yeah, you're going to have an amazing year. Just put God as the center. Keep going. Keep being consistent. Keep showing up. And there's no reason why you'll fail. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Let me know what you thought about this video, if there was anything I didn't touch on. And yeah, we'll catch up soon. Love you loads. Bye.